Here we are here at CarolinaPreps.com, joined by Coach Chad Grier, head coach at Providence State High School. Once again, playing for yet another state championship. This coming Friday night, traveling down to Georgia to take on Rabun Gap. Coach, you played Rabun Gap almost a month ago. Came up just a little bit short there on your home field. Rabun Gap is one of the teams that I've had a chance to see this year. That size is very impressive. Just such a complete team coming in 13-0. I guess my question to you, Coach, and I'm so versed with just how good your team is. Been one of the top teams in North Carolina from start to finish. But what's the challenges of playing a team like Raven Gap a second time, and maybe even an opportunity being the fact that you've got a game's worth of film and intimate knowledge of the coaching staff, the team, the players, and things like that.
Yeah, I think you hit. I think it's hard to beat a team twice, and we just went through that last week. And especially a team you're familiar with, and we're familiar with Derek and Raven Gap. He's a great coach. They're obviously a very talented team. For us, it's an opportunity to do better. We do have film. We see how they lined up to what we do. I expect them to make some adjustments as we are going to, but I think that we recognize that we've got. I think the run game's got a lot to do with this. We've got to do better at stopping theirs. We've got to establish our own.
How do you and I guess from some of the film I've looked at from seeing Raven Gap in person, I went up and I visited them when they played Robbinsville earlier in the year. And Robbinsville is a really big physical team, but you could just see with that offensive and defensive lines, especially that defensive line, just how powerful and how aggressive they are. How do you try to overcome that? Is it with scheme, with different blocking schemes, with different plays? Like, what's your biggest challenge with that line size?
Well, I mean, it's not just size. They're good too. They get off the ball and they got that nasty to them, and they're well coached. The front seven, I think what helps them is those four down are really good. They've got really six guys that can play through there. And then they've got two linebackers that are as good as you're going to see in high school, especially downhill against the run. So running the ball against them is a challenge for anybody. They like to play a six-man box, and they trust their athletes in the back end to take care of business. We've got to force them to bring another hat in the box or to get one of those guys out. So I think for us, some of it's definitely scheme. Some of it's just trusting our guys. I think we're pretty dang good too. And, I think that 19 is really, really good. So is our 70. So is our 77. So is our 51. And Gage is about as strong as guy. He's a defensive lineman playing O-line for us, but, he's about as strong a kid you're going to find in high school football. And Johnny Stevens may not have a whole lot of fanny in his britches, but he brings it and he's going to compete. So that's all you can ask for. I like our guys. I think we got a shot.
Well, Coach, you've been coaching football for a long time. You've won multiple state championships. You know what it takes to win at all the different levels of school. And I have no question that if you had been in the public school ranks in North Carolina, you would be just as high as an echelon as you have been at the private school ranks. And you showed that to me going down and being competitive immediately in a tough South Carolina state as well. But with that being said, what's it like? With a team like this, I think this Raven Gap team is one of the better ones I've seen just from a complete perspective. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of gaps in really any side of their football, but also getting on a bus, traveling four or so hours to a game,
Yep.
playing a state championship game on their home field. I looked at the weather. I'm going to be there Friday. It looks like it could be the potential for some showers, hit or miss starting the game. What's it like for you just getting your team ready logistically and just making sure your players are together with their mindset heading down for a big game like this?
A big core tenet of our program is mental toughness. And, we talk about from the summer on. I mean, if it rain is liquid sunshine. I mean, we're all going to play in the same, whatever it is, rain, cold, sun, hot, sleet, muddy. I mean, we're all playing the same conditions. So whoever deals with it the best typically comes out ahead. So I'm not worried about our kids. We train to be, we follow that Navy SEALs model where, what you do at your weakest, lowest moment. I mean, how you train then is how you're going to do when rubber hits the road. So that's what we're about, and we're going to be prepared to win on the last play of the game. And it may take that against these guys, but I think that we're not going up there to not win. And as good as they are, we're pretty confident. We're pretty dang good too, and we beat some really good teams, and we're very confident we can play this game at a very high level.
So I agree. I think you can as well. I'm looking here at the records. You've been at Providence State. This is your fourth year. Won multiple state championships already. Did you imagine when you took this job that you guys could be this good? And And I think that you are at the absolute elite level, especially at the private school ranks. But I also think that you could play every Friday night in the public school ranks as well, even here in a city like Charlotte. But did you imagine that your program would be quite to this echelon yet? And do you think this is your ceiling? Like, what do you see with Providence Day moving forward?
I mean, it's really not trying to cop out on this, but it's just really never been my intention to make it about whatever games we win. I mean, our program is built on winning kids, and if you win enough kids, winning games takes care of itself. One of our three goals, the second was to compete with class at the highest level. The highest level thing is important to us. We're not looking to just go run up a record. We're trying to find the best we can play against and give ourselves a shot to win at that level with class. And I think our kids have done that. They bought into the whole culture, our 7 core values. It's about excellence on the field, in the classroom, in the neighborhood. And when kids buy into that and becomes their culture, winning football games just takes care of itself. So the answer is, look, man, there was some talent when I got here, and some other kids have come, but really a huge credit. And I think you more than most can appreciate how important your staff is. No one guy coaches a football team. You say, I won championships, and look, I've never won a championship. I've been a part of a team of coaches, a team of kids that have won championships. And we've got a bunch of like-minded coaches that understand that you can use football as a tool to reach kids. And when they buy into that and they take it over, great things happen. And you put talented kids that buy into that, then you got a chance to do something special. And we think we've done that. We had some really, really good teams at Davidson Day that nobody really probably believed early on because we were so new. And I think towards the end of that, people start realizing, hey, man, those kids are pretty good. Oceanside was the kind of same thing. I mean, we started off with, kids just bought in and won on sheer guts and hard work and belief and common values. And then as we developed talent and guys got better, then we got to be really, really good there. And I think coming here, we just had kids bought in early. We've got great support here. I think that I'm not surprised that we're doing what we're doing. We got as high as 19. I was looking at that list, an ESPN list, and I'm thinking, very flattered on it. I mean, it's a great honor for our kids to have earned that, but we're not built like the other teams in that list. I mean, it's private schools in the Mid-Atlantic or in other places. We're not an IMG or Bishop Gorman or St. Francis where we can just go out and put together kids. I mean, you have to go through the admissions process here, and it's not easy. And you've got to do the work here, and it's not easy. And nobody goes to school free here. It's not cheap. I mean, so we're still on mission as a school, but also think that we've built something that attracts people to be a part of it. And so if you've got a son that you think has a chance to be really good at ball and wants to get developed and wants to play at the next level, we offer a great opportunity to get a great education, a safe environment, and we're going to push them athletically as hard as the school pushes them academically.
Well, Coach Grier, I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. I wrote down, I want to get into a little bit deeper. We're going to save it for the off season to talk about those 7 core values and some of the key cornerstones to your program. That's a lot of the stuff that I try to do during the off season when we got a little bit more time to dig in, and you're not preparing for a state championship game this weekend. But Coach Grier, I appreciate you for coming on board here with me and talking a little bit of football again, leading up to this championship game Friday. I will be there, so I'll shake your hand before the game, and we'll definitely do an